Hello and welcome to another video where I teach you how to create HTML websites. So we have been talking about some of the tags. We have talked about the OL, we've talked about the UL, we've talked about links and all that. So we're going to be talking about, I did say that I was going to talk about how to import an image uh, into your website. And so to do that, we use the image tag, and that is the img source, like this. So this source is what carries the address of your image, and by that I mean the name that you use to save your image. So if we look here we see we have two images here: the image.png and img1.jpg. So .jpg. So this text here, as it is here, would be what would go into this quote sign. So when we do that, it means we're importing that picture into our website. So I can write img1.jpg. So if I save this now and go to my website and refresh, we can see that it's not showing, but rather it's showing this thing here. When you see this, it means that the source is not correct. Now that was done deliberately. Now why did that happen? If we look on this sidebar here, we see that we have our root folder, website 2, and then if we open it, we see it has another img folder. Now inside we have two of these images, so we cannot be wanting to get to this image without passing or referencing the container folder, and the container folder is img. So instead of just writing this like this, we have to reference the container folder, and that is img with a slash. So with this, you're instructing the browser to go inside this folder and look for this image and display it. So if we save this and go to our website and refresh this, we see we have a beautiful image. I remember I said that you can make anything a link, right? Just by wrapping it inside an A tag. So if we have an A tag, okay, so we just need to cut this image, put it inside this. Now it is going to be a link, right? However, we need to put the address, the page we're trying to link, just the way we did here, right? We have to put this into the href so that when you click this, it will take you to this page. So we're just going to copy this. I'm going to copy this right now and then come over here and put it in the href and paste it and then save. And so if we come here and refresh, it has become a link. So if we hover, you see it's a finger, it's a hand, but in the rest, it's not a hand. So once you see it's a hand, no, it's a link. So when you click, it goes to the page that we have put in it. So that's how to turn things to links. Okay. So we're going to talk about forms now. So you see, in a website that collects information of people or data from people, you need a form. So a form is actually a system that collects, or it's a system used to take information from people. So I know you have seen it. Maybe you want to register for a site. They ask you to put your name, your first name, your last name, your age, your country, and all that. That is a form, all right. And so to get a form on a website, we need uh, the form tag, and this is the form tag. This one right here. Open it. All right. Now this is a form. This has made the made the environment ready for a form to be written. So what we need is an input field. And so what what we're going to do is put in an input tag. Now, what do we mean input field? Input field is that place that you type, that lets you type in your information. So if I save this, let's just look at what I mean. So here's the input field. So in here we can type whatever we want to type. Okay, so that's an input field. Now we made this input using the input tag. Okay. However, there's one more tag called label. Label is used to label um, input fields. So what do I mean by that? If we put first name, for example, here, it is telling the user that in this first input, put your first name. So if I refresh, so you see first name here. just your first name. So it's commonly used when writing, when making forms. And just as a note, a side note here, you could also use an H1 tag to achieve this. So if I write H, you can use any heading tag to achieve this, all right? But it is not the right thing to do. Okay. By standard, you should use the label tag. So forget about this. Every time you're trying to create a form, always name your inputs by using label. So inside label, we're going to give it 4. Again, 4 is an attribute, and then we put a first name here. This attribute, most of the attributes we're going to be using here would be uh, is so that, because we know that HTML, sorry, HTML is a front end language, right? That means it's a language used to create the front end of every website. However, there is what we call back end of a website. Now, that back end determines the functionality of each of the sections of the website. Okay, and so most of these attributes we are given would enable back end functionality. Anyway, don't bother yourself with all that. Just hear it as an advice, and then let's continue. I don't want to make it too mysterious. All right, so just put 4 here. Okay, we're going to do it in a much more later video. And so we have our input. Now our input has two attributes, the type and the name. Now this type, what type of input is this? We're going to put text here, right? Put text. The name also is going to be first name. Okay, and so we have what is called the placeholder. Placeholder is something that displays dummy text. So I'm just going to put Mike. So if I save this and then refresh here, so we see Mike is just a dummy text. Just in case somebody's dumb enough not to know that you have to put your first name here, you can just type your first name. So it's a dummy text. It provides dummy text. And then here we're going to put required. It is an instruction that gives the browser to ensure that this must be done. Okay, if you don't do it, it will throw an error. Okay, so we have our first name, and so we also need a last name. So I'm just going to copy this and duplicate it. If you're using Windows, it is Control Shift D. So I just want to put a little space for clarity. Now this is first name, and so we need a last name. Last name, we also need it here. Last name. Okay, the last name is a text. The name is also last name. Okay, placeholder. So we'll change this. Let's put maybe the last name is John. Okay, save. And so if we go view here, so we see that there is a last name. Sorry, there's a last name here. Okay, and this John inside is because of the placeholder. So it's just a dummy text, right? To direct or to help guide those that are filling your form. And so we have the first name, the last name. And so we're going to have gender, because sometimes they actually put your gender in forms. And now I want to use something that is called a div. A div is short for divider. Now, divider is a block element. Okay, it separates a different segment of your web page. Again, please don't bother yourself too much. As we go further, we're going to be using this particular tag here a lot in web design. So I just want you to have a knowledge of it, so that when we start using it, you say, oh, okay, this is div. All right, the div helps to display things in rows, okay, not in line. Again, if you don't know what that means, just keep watching and following the tutorials. So we're going to have I'm going to copy this just to save time for typing. Copy this and paste here. And so I'm just going to tab it in. Please ensure to tab in, because in HTML we deal with container. So this div is a container that is holding this too. That's how it is. So we're going to have a gender, right? So we're going to change this to male. Male. And so label is going to be gender male. 4 is going to be gender male. Okay, for the input, we're going to have type radio. So we're going to see what this does. We have used it severally, but we don't know the name. So we're going to see what that is. Now, for gender, we're going to have gender male. Gender male. And so we're going to take out this placeholder unrequired, and then just put a value of choice 1. Okay. And so we're going to duplicate this again. We're going to have 1 for female. Copy this. Paste this here and be gender female. This would be female. Male. Type is also radio button. Name is gender female. Value is choice 2, because you have to make a choice. Either you're a man or a woman, right? And then we can, if there are other sexes, but well, let's leave that. So that's for gender. Okay, and so uh, we could also have, anyway, if I go further, let's save this and let's see how it looks now. And so here, this is male and female, and this is the radio button. So you can either choose one, but right now we are choosing both, which is not a very nice thing to do. However, to change that, we come over to here where we have gender female, gender male. We're just going to say gender choice. Yeah, so that whatever choice is chosen would automatically stick. So let's change this to gender choice. Okay, so gender choice. So if I save this, come over here and refresh this. So we can now choose just one. We can't choose both of them. So that's how to make that happen. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, so we can choose both. Okay, so let's continue. So we can have more things in our website. We could have email. And so we're going to create another, just duplicate this whole thing. Anyway, let's take it gently. So create another div to help in our display div. Then we put an input. Okay, this input, we're going to call it email. Gender 4 would be email. Okay, so we're going to have an input type of email now, not radio. Email, and also a name of email. Okay, and so we're going to have a placeholder. We don't need this value because it's an input field. So we're going to have placeholder. Again, I said the placeholder is what displays dummy text. So we can have X, Y, Z at mail.com. We're just going to display a dummy dummy text. So we have email. Then we're going to have one more for password, because you cannot have an email without password. So we save this, copy that, come to the bottom and place this here, and then this is going to be password. Okay, the 4 is going to also be password. Okay, now the type, if we put text here, it would not be nice because it is an email. However, we're going to just try it so that you understand what I'm talking about. So type text, name is going to be, we don't need a placeholder for password, so we'll take this out. Name is going to also be password. So I want to show you something. So if we save like this and come over to our website and refresh, okay, so we have email here, we have password. So this is a dummy email. So put whatever at email there. So if we come to password, you can see our password is a text, which is not good. Passwords are supposed to be hidden. And so instead of text here, we put password and then save. So when we come over and refresh, it's going to turn to dots. So you see dots, right? To hide your password, because passwords are confidential. So that's just one tip there. Okay, so we have our first name, last name, we have email and password. So we could also add a few things. So let me reduce this. We could also have a selector. Okay, we could have a selector. So we could say create another div, because we want them to display in column. So div, inside that div, we're gonna have a label, sorry, and for that attribute, we're gonna say month, and then in between there, we're gonna say birthday. Okay, so let's say we want to get your birthday, and then now we don't need an input, we need what we call select. Now select helps us to select days and months and all that sort of thing. Okay, so inside our select, we're going to open it up, and then inside the select, we're going to have options. Option is a tag. Yeah, a tag like this. So for this select, we're giving it a name of month, name of month. Okay, so option, we're going to give an option a value. Please just write on as we are going. We give it a value of 0. That means we're not selecting that one yet. Then we're going to give it selected. These are just they are instructions given to the select tag, disabled. Okay, so we have our option, and then in here we're going to have months. Oh, let's say month. And so we're going to duplicate this twice. Okay, so value here is going to be, because we want to talk about months, so we don't need to put this here. We'll take this out. So month, this is January. Okay, so if we save this and come to our website and refresh, we're going to see we have this. You see it? So we're having just January because we put just January here. So that means we're going to duplicate it 12 times. All right, so we have February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So now we're going to change everything here. This will be Feb. This will be February. This will be March. This will be April. This would be May. This would be June. Oh, I forgot to. Please don't forget. You must always change the value. March. April. May. June. So this is July. Oh, let's just complete this. Oh no, it's okay. We could leave it. It's okay. Just leave it. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have July, we have June, July, August. Could you say Aug here? September. We have Sep here. So this should be August, September, October. This could be Oct. November. This will be Nov. And then finally we have December. This will be this. So if we save this, come over to our website and refresh. It looks like nothing happened here. But if we open this, we see we have all the months there. Of January, choose January, choose April, you choose December. So these are basic things that you can have in your form. Okay. So if you are here, please subscribe to this channel if you have not already done that. I believe this channel is adding value to you. You can also turn on the notification bell and also comment if there's something I missed or you want to add something. Just put it on the comment below, and so that I can get back to you. If it's a suggestion, also let us know so that we could get back to you. So I'm going to stop the video now so that you can, because we have done a lot, right? We've done a lot, yeah. So you can, so that you could take it in, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.